You gave the Master Emerald to Wade Whipple? A man that get beat by kids at the bowling alley? Come on, y'all. What up, cinephiles and entertainment seekers, and also what up, Coop Troop? This is your man, your host, your maestro of this great channel of ours, the Andre Cooper, coming at you with what? DraeRadio cinema news and movie reviews. As you saw on the title, once you clicked on this video, I am bringing to you guys my Knuckles Paramount Plus series review. Yep, I know the series dropped last year, but I never get on, set premiere times, and I never stick with a binging schedule when it come down to series actually dropping. I like to marinate it on a little, and then I hop on whenever I feel ready to. I got a lot on my queue list of series to even dive into, and I managed to get this one out the way. So I'm bringing my thoughts of good, bad, and recommendations to rewatch value opinions to you guys. And again, thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for choosing me out of everybody amongst the YouTube, industry. Thank you for choosing my channel to dive into this series review talk with. And if you find an interest in anything that I talk about within this video, drop down on the comment section below and chop it up with your boy. I'm down to interact with you guys, and as well as I'm down for you to interact with me. So what I'm bringing to you guys on this video is we'll be discussing the Rotten Tomatoes scores from the top critics and the audience popcorn meter. We'll be talking about top critic reviews for the show. And then once we get all that good jazz out the way, I'll be talking to you guys about what the show was about within those first two segments. Then I'll dive over to my experience for the show, my good thoughts, my bad thoughts, and if I recommend you guys go check the show out for what it is. So without further ado, grab your drinks, you feel me? Crystal clear, crystal clear. You feel me? Got to get parched. But let's dive over to Rotten Tomatoes for the About section, as well as talk about the critic scores and popcorn meter audience scores for Knuckles. So, set in the cinematic universe of Sonic the Hedgehog, the Knuckles series follows an action-packed journey of self-discovery. While struggling to adjust to life on Earth, Knuckles the Echidna takes on Wade Whipple as his apprentice, training him in ways of the Echidna to help him prepare for a bowling tournament in Reno, Navarro, where his estranged father is competing. During their journey, Wade reunites with his mother and sister while Knuckles is pursued by a former agent of Dr. Robotnik, who now seeks to take his power for himself. It sounds good than what we actually see in the series. Let me just let you guys know that. But as we see here on the Rotten Tomatoes scores for the top critics, they give it a 75. I'm having a hard time seeing the 75. Like, it's not a excellent of anything above 80, but a 75, I wouldn't probably even go at a stretch of giving it that. But the audience score, which I find a little satisfaction with, is 67. 67% popcorn meter. Again, that's the audience score for it. It's a lot to break down with this series, you guys, because you would think just as Sonic the Hedgehog got his first film, when you get that first film, you actually get Sonic, nobody else. Sonic, Dr. Eggman. Cool. Set the base of the universe of which we're creating. This is Knuckles' first series, limited series at that, because I guarantee I don't see them coming back for a part 2 whatsoever. But you would think it would be on the same caliber of Give Us Knuckles. Give Us Knuckles from episode 1 to episode 6. So this is just a 6 episode limited series. You feel me? So let's dive over to the Rotten Tomatoes top critic reviews and break down what they thought about it before we break down what I thought about it, you guys. So coming from The Age, Australia, Craig Matheson, he says with a fresh review, this is fan service that doubles as enjoyable family viewing, with Elba thankfully in on the joke. The fan service that doubles as enjoyable family viewing. I could see the family aspect in this 6 episode limited series. It is there. It is there, but I guarantee you from the children's perspective, the tap out would be after episode 1. On a parental note, which I'm not a parent, I'm just putting it out there since we speaking on the family viewership of it. On a family note, I feel like the lack of the main character is what would drive somebody away from even finishing this series. But that was Craig Matheson from The Age Australia. Now we have Nicola Austin from Empire Magazine with a fresh review. She states, this is more Wade's World than Sonic 2.5. Still, Knuckles' solo side quest proves fun filler fluff as fans await the arrival of Shadow in the threequel. There is a whole lot that I have to say in my bad portion once I get to the breakdown of my thoughts. But the fact that she took it in a fresh review perspective, she said this is more Wade's World than Sonic 2.5. Let's delete the whole Sonic 2.5 because Sonic is in here, but only for episode 1, as well as Tails and as well as the Cupcake Lady. You feel me? I think that's what Sonic called her on the first movie, from the Donut Lord and the Cupcake Lady, Tom and his wife. But yeah, so don't expect a lot of Sonic in here or Tails or even Team Sonic at all. Just episode 1, which is reasonable. Episode 1 was real cool, solid, down to the breakdown, get us the premise of where Knuckles is going with this 6 limited series. But Wade's World is where this is all at. This really should have been called Wade Ripple featuring Knuckles. We'll break that down more later on. That was Nicola Austin from Empire Magazine. Now we have Layla Latif from Guardian. She just mentions in acronyms: ludicrous, hilarious, and actually rather moving. There is a story to be taken from this series, from both Knuckles and Wade. On Wade's perspective, build confidence. Build confidence. Feel that you're worthy enough to be the champion in the goals that you have set forth. And for Knuckles is to find a place of comfort within your status. In my opinion, that's what I took from it. So for sure, I'll agree with actually rather moving from Layla Latif statement on her review. Now, I'm gonna say this for later. I'm gonna say that for last. Let's go with another fresh review. Randy Jones from RogerEbert.com with a fresh review. He says the Knuckles spinoff is as well-rounded diversion to please fans of this gonzo movieverse. Well-rounded diversion to please fans. I'm a huge fan I am a huge fan of the Sonic universe. I love every character on there. Everybody gets the same equal amount of love and respect from me. From Sonic, Tails, Shadow, Knuckles, Amy, even at that, you feel me? If I had to give you guys a favorite character of mine, somebody that I really highly doubt that we would see in this built universe, but Silver. Silver the Hedgehog, telekinesis. He's my favorite character of this whole universe. But hey, if it pleased any of y'all diehard fans just like me of the Sonic universe, then I'm jealous because I wish I was in your shoes. You feel me? Now, I had to save the best for last, the best for me because this is the direction that I'm giving for this review. You hear me? Brian Lowry from CNN.com with a rotten review. He states, lacking carry to help carry the load. Knuckles spun out of the game to screen universe isn't just bad, but a next level degree of bad. Starting with the puzzling question of for whom this 6-episode Paramount Plus series was made. It wasn't made for me. It wasn't made for me, but I stuck around just to give you guys a valid thought run of opinion on this series because I feel like everybody and anybody could tap out of a show from episode 2, episode 3, or 1. That is the underline of do we continue or not. Episode 1. But I feel like you don't have the whole right to actually give a full series review besides, oh, I didn't like it, so I didn't continue it, to actually give note on which I'm giving you guys because I finished it. As a drag as it was, I finished it. So I have the right to come to you guys on what I think. But that was my best review from Brian Lowry coming from CNN.com with the rotten review because everything about this series that I have coming for you guys is definitely rotten. With a sprinkling garnish of what I did appreciate. Like I said, I have experience, I have good, bad, and do I recommend this for you guys? So,
I am 1,000,000% muscle.
without further ado, you hear me? Let's dive over to my experience with watching Knuckles, the 6-episode limited series on Paramount Plus that you can watch right now if you choose to. But episode 1, basically you see Knuckles and the gang, Sonic, Tails, Cupcake Lady, with a fun first episode. You guys, because you see Knuckles in a new environment where not as Sonic being living in a cave underground for some time before he was noticed by people. He is in a home area, and we see Knuckles basically go on a Black Ops mission, terrorizing and booby trapping the lawnmower people, the landscapers, you feel me? And Cupcake Lady coming through on an apology note, like, I'm sorry, one of my kids are just, highly protective, and Knuckles got these folk. He dragging people underground, putting them in traps, and them people asking for reimbursement for their time and labor out there because Knuckles messed all that up. So he's really coming off of a champion mindset, a Game of Thrones-esque mindset, because one scene on the first episode, you do see he have like somewhat of a throne in hand, like sitting on the throne and talking about the ways of which he lived. But yeah, so really just setting down the premise of us getting to know Knuckles. And later on within the first episode, you know, Cupcake Lady is telling Sonic, like, hey, we need to talk to him because there's some rules that he really need to respect and really come in tune with if he's going to be here with us and now living on Earth. So we're giving him the benefit of the doubt of where he came from, but give him a little pep talk, you feel me? So Sonic go ahead and do that, let him know about his ways of which he came about to be, and Knuckles get into a headspace of now he really need to find his new self on Earth. So getting all that premise done, set, not the way, it was a good time. It felt like it was something triggering to say, all right, bet, I will continue episode 2. And this is where the juggler come in. This is where the risk come in, because later on episode 1, we see Wade Ripple in the bowling alley with his best friend, and they're having a match. Just as Wade was on the Sonic movies, nothing but a side character, and he was funny. He delivered on a comedy relief for those moments. And I feel like just as Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds stated about his character being in the MCU, his character is not meant for a full-length film, but more so of a supportive character on a heavy cameo type level. That was Wade's role throughout the whole Sonic franchise. Movie 1, 2, and especially 3, because we don't get Wade throughout the whole thing just like we did with 1, and as well as 2. We only get him for, boom, a snap of a finger of a moment. The Thanos effect, you feel me? This was the attempt of a failed series to me, you guys. Because as all the Star Wars fans have that story that they give you, episode 1 of this series was great, but then every episode afterwards was just, I'm tapped out, I'm done. We're done. Don't call me anymore. You feel me? But yeah, I mean, every episode after episode 1 just really took a lot of excitement and anticipation for me to even continue. But I knew I couldn't bring you guys this full review if I didn't watch it all for myself. So, hey, there you go with my experience of it. Let's talk about the good. Let's spread a little light into this before we dive mostly into the bad. And I mean mostly, all this review is coming from the bad. Idris Elba is still not my go-to choice to portray Knuckles, because from what I remember Knuckles to be, he wasn't, forgive me, Idris, you feel me? He wasn't as dumbfounded, but still intact to his goals, of which he is the protector of the Master Emerald. You feel me? He wasn't as dumbfounded as I take this Knuckles to be. The Knuckles I remember is coming from Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders. Yes, he's the muscle of the group, but also I feel like he had a strict mind of his own. Nothing as like real slow dialogue-esque. But I enjoyed everything that I saw with Knuckles. There you have it. I enjoyed everything that I saw with Knuckles. Any scene Knuckles was in, I was locked in, because this is Knuckles' series. So I definitely would have loved more screen time for him. in my opinion, he didn't have that much of screen time, but the screen time that he did have, I was locked in with, very much so. I really did enjoy the first episode. The first episode was really the hook and lock in for me because you see Team Sonic. It set down a beautiful and great premise. Knuckles has a story. Knuckles has a story on here that I feel like would have done great if it was just him. If it was just him and the villain at hand that was played by, what's dude name? He from Game of Thrones, the Hound from Game of Thrones, you guys. Rory McCain. His name on here was the buyer, the henchman that branched off from Dr. Robotnik. That y'all remember on Iron Man, that one dude that, dang, I forgot his name, but the bald guy was yelling at him.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Felt like that guy. Just branched off, got mad. And I think we saw him working with Mysterio on Spider-Man Far From Home. But, yeah, Rory McCain, the Hound, a.k.a. the buyer on this series. He was basically Eggman 2.0, but not as genius as Eggman, you feel me? He was just getting scraps of what he got. And apparently the quills that he came about from happened to come from Knuckles. So his whole sole mission was get that echidna. And the fighting sequences with Knuckles, beautiful, very animated, very luscious. I'm talking about Knuckles beat 'em up mode is wonderful. It's definitely times that really had me up out of my seat where it was like, all right, yeah, that's my Knuckles, you feel me? I like that. Here I go again. Sad to tell y'all, but that's really all I have for the good. That is really all I have for the good, you guys. So now let's branch on over to the bad. What I thought about this potential of a series. So Wade's World should have been the name of this series, because once you see Wade Ripple at the end, the middle to end towards episode 1, you see him throughout the whole series towards the end bit of it all. And basically the premise for Knuckles was that Knuckles trying to find his ground, his new setting in on Earth, but he takes Wade Ripple to be his apprentice and help him build the confidence to become a champion within his goals to be a great bowler. Other than that, Wade is just being strung about from Knuckles' enemies. Knuckles get kidnapped once in episode 2. He get kidnapped in episode 2, and the mantle is already placed on Wade. There is rescuing that happens later on in the episode, and then still you are with Wade. You get introduced to his family, his mother, his sister, which was so annoying. Eddie Patterson, she might be a good actress. Not even might be. She is a good actress to somebody. But in this show, she was so annoying. So annoying. And I understand how siblings get down with each other. You like me, I don't like you energy, or we just really tussling. That was so annoying in this series, y'all. Like, they could have left without all that and her energy, to be honest. So, We have Team Rocket on here as well, you feel me? Played by Kid Cudi and Ellie Taylor. The real Team Rocket, like live action. Jesse, James. I could have done without their characters. Their characters were so mindful, less. Like, what was the point in having them in here? Just for extra whateverness, to be honest? Like, I don't know. And look, here was something that I guess I could have added on to the good part, which we still didn't get much of him. But Christopher Lloyd was on here, you guys. You feel me? He played Knuckles' grandfather, Pachak Mach. I guess that's his name. I don't know how to pronounce it. I kind of forgot. Like, it went in one ear and out the other. But he appeared in here 2 episodes. It was like, it took a minute for me to actually like pick out his voice to say, "Oh man, I know who that is. It's Christopher Lloyd." But he real cool little swift of an appearance on here as a chief echidna. But yeah. And then Roy McCain, the buyer, you almost forget he is the enemy of this series, because you see him one episode basically stating his goals of having the ultimate power from Knuckles' quills. And then from the first episode, you see him to a splash of an episode, you see him in like mid-season to the full appearance of him in the last episode, which was just so worthless. It was so worthless. It felt like No Time to Die, James Bond enemy, where you see him one bit of the movie and then last bit of the final act, there he go, full blown. It was pointless. It was pointless to even have a villain like that. Like, no backstory at all with that. Well, backstory is there. Again, he was once somebody that worked for Dr. Robotnik. But other than that, it's basically rinse and repeat of, I'm going to continue what I was fired for, but do it on my own terms. And it was weak. It was a weak storyline just for that rivalry to be set forth. And you know, I just wish this show was really about who it was about. Knuckles in the forefront, Knuckles as the lead, and not branching off into a side character that really wasn't nobody to lock in with, just somebody to laugh at in the Sonic movies. Wade Ripple. Do y'all hear the name? Oh, I mean, look, Adam Paley, he's a great guy. I gotta say that. I know he is. I don't know him personally, but we just gotta say it. He's a great guy. Might be a great actor to somebody. This is my first universe of me seeing this man act. He was funny for the things that he needed to be funny for, but as a lead, a co-lead at that, this wasn't his time to shine. This wasn't his time to shine, you guys. I was off. I was done. I was done with it. Kid Cudi was so cheeky and cheesy on here. His sidekick or partner, whatever they want to call themselves, played by Ellie Taylor, pointless. Roy McCain, he tried his best with the script that he had. He gave in that grit and evil villainous attitude. His name was the buyer. No official name, just the buyer. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. This show was for somebody. Like, for the kids, I wouldn't see the kids to really be locked in with this show the way you would think so, because I want to say strictly by episode 2, don't expect them to stay around. Expect them to walk off and play a game or something, or go outside to fulfill their entertainment, because this was a struggle for me to even stick around and stay with it. It almost felt like a fever dream, like Once Upon a Time. Like one episode, you literally see Wade Whipple dressed up as Knuckles and having a full musical play. Like you would have thought it was something he woke up from, like an actual dream, but no, it started and it continued, and then it finished. Yo, pointless. I feel like that was really what was talked about in the room, in the creative room. Like they had that scene in mind and made it to be what this series is. Like I said, y'all, it felt like almost of a fever dream that this was even real and to be true. And here, check this out. This is what's crazy. It's all in the same universe. And I've watched Sonic 3. I have it on my digital collection to complete the whole trilogy. You don't hear anything about this series on Sonic 3 whatsoever. Don't nothing of this series come about to be heard and acknowledged on Sonic 3. You would have thought Wade Whipple's cameo appearance and him protecting the Master Emerald would be something to see on here. You don't even see Knuckles hand Wade the Master Emerald for him to be the sole protector and earthly protector of. None of that. So that scene that we saw on Sonic 3 where he was like, Knuckles, where's the Master Emerald? I needed to help us defeat Shadow. It's with somebody that you'll have to get through first in order to get it. Wade Ripple. Y'all telling me that man would have been that hard to get through and get that artifact of power? You gave the Master Emerald to Wade Whipple? A man that get beat by kids at the bowling alley? Come on, y'all. Wade got a friend on here that, backstabbed him, working for the ops, and kidnapped him, put him in this little cage. I think he was played by Julian Barrett. I don't really have a name for him, to be honest, but if y'all could just watch the series, if y'all choose to watch the series, Wade's best friend, he's the other bowler on the first episode, and I want to say episode 4 when Wade gets kidnapped and things like that. But yo, I got a lot of bad for this film. That let's dive over to, do I recommend this film to you guys, and do I believe this this series has any rewatchability value? Y'all know how I get down with it. We coming up with thumbs up, thumbs down. Where we going with it? Well, how y'all feeling up? Y'all, that's where y'all at with it. But hey, this is me. I'm here with it. Big gas. Big gas. No. No. I would not entertain this or put it on my nieces or nephews to watch this series, you guys, because they're not going to understand or have the attention span to just stick with it like that. There's not enough for them to even grasp the inner child mind's attention for this series, you guys. I wanted to give up so bad, but I knew I wanted to dive into series reviews like this and more on moving forward. I needed to finish this to bring you guys my 100% ability to say I watched it start to finish, and now I have this for you. I do not recommend this. I do not recommend it. I don't. You don't even need to watch this to get prepared for Sonic 3 if you haven't watched it already. But Sonic 3 is a wonderful, beautiful time. I do recommend you go watch that. Rewatch value is crazy. But no, not at all. Not at all. Knuckles is one for the back burner. Not the character, but the series. That's just me. That's just me. If you love the series, if you found some enjoyment from it, which it does have mostly, I guess good reviews coming from who I read the top critic scores to be. And also, like I said, y'all see here, 75% average on the tomato meter critic score, and the popcorn meter is just mid, 67% from the audience. The series is for somebody, but I guarantee you it is not for me to rewatch or even hand off the recommendation of go entertain yourself. I'm saving y'all from this no-go. But there you have it, you guys. That is my series review for Knuckles Paramount Plus limited series 6-episode review. You hear me? If you liked what you heard here on this channel of mine, please drop down on the comment section and interact with your boy. You feel me? I am here to interact with you and extend on to more conversation involving this show. But as you all had the opportunity to choose from any other YouTube channel or somebody higher than myself to indulge in this series with, you chose me, and I appreciate you guys abundantly. Please share the content, like, subscribe for more if you're down to stick with the channel, and come be a part of the Coop Troop. We are that amazing. But yeah, you guys, thank you for tuning in and watching me, your man, your host, your maestro of this great channel of ours, DeAndre Cooper, coming at you with what? DraeRadio Cinema News and Movie Reviews. Check y'all on the next series review, on the next movie review, or the next cinema news video that I have coming for you guys in the near future. January is up, baby. February, you next. Catch you on the next route.